Take a look at the key reasons why hasn't this been done in the past. The car industry has been pursuing the development of water-powered engines for quite some time now, usually to no avail, as every single previous attempt was either a complete disaster and failure, or it simply was not efficient enough for any practical use. There were some promising projects, however, they've mostly been abandoned for various reasons, but more on that later. The closest thing that we got to real water-powered engines that have actually been moved from the prototype phase have been fuel cell vehicles and hydrogen-powered combustion engines. However, both of these options are still inferior to EVs and regular internal combustion engines, as the technology is still fairly rudimentary and inefficient in the long run. However, we're finally at the dawn of water-powered engines, as a couple of years ago, there was a man that came up with a fairly functional prototype of it. Let's meet the inventor of the water-powered engine, Alaaddin Qasemi, who's a scientist from Iran, has been credited as the inventor of this all-new engine. Qasemi has been working hard on finding an alternative to fossil fuels, and his efforts have recently given birth to one of the biggest steps for the entirety of the car industry. Qasemi, who's based in Karaj, which is a city west of Tehran, claims to have converted a locally produced Peugeot 405 from gasoline-powered to a water-powered vehicle. He's also stated that the engine found in the converted 405 is highly efficient, reliable, and simple, which makes sense because he developed it from scratch in his spare time. Let's take a look at how this engine actually functions. According to Qasemi, the power is actually generated when water, or H2O, gets separated into hydrogen and oxygen, creating a chemical reaction in the process. That's actually the energy that's required to power the car. It functions similarly to a hydrogen combustion engine that can be found in the BMW Hydrogen 7, except that it doesn't use a highly flammable compressed gas as its propellant. The hydrogen fuel cell works in the form of electrolysis. The H2O molecules split into hydrogen and oxygen once the voltage is applied to the electrodes that are located in the tank. This system is often referred to as an HHO generator, and it should, at least in theory, function absolutely flawlessly. The tank itself has a capacity of 60 liters. It's located in place of the rear seats. In the video that has been released to the public, we can see Qasemi filling the fuel tank with distilled water, which he even drank at one point to show that it's not from any